All right, guys, this is Ollie from Omnitub with another video specifically talking today about additional insulation. Now, this is used on tubs that are going outdoors, used in commercial environments, used where the tub is going to be connected to a chiller slash heating unit to maintain temperature of the soaking space for a far longer time, but also to ensure you don't get dew point issues and connection issues with the temperature of the inside of the tub compared to the outside temperature of the space whilst running recirculative systems. This is the answer and works extremely well. Now, on a seated tub with very small flanges, you'll see that there's a protrusion element of the insulation. We have 50mm insulation around here and an additional 3 layers of glass bonded with resin and additional coating on the outside for a final sealer. So it goes from the 7 layers that we manufacture with by standard up to 13 with all of those pieces in. The amount of insulation that could go into this is completely conditional on what you require for your project, depending on how extreme the conditions are on the outside. The holes on the side here are because we've got lights in this one, because the customer wanted lights. Don't want the waste hole to be drilled because we're going to have an inlet and an outlet running through this. And essentially, the purpose of this video is to show you of another service that can be added onto your order if you want. Now, this isn't really for domestic installs for inside of a property. That's just using it as a tub, filling it with water and emptying it once the user gets out as a bathtub. Although you could, it's certainly not required. But when it's going outdoors, this kind of additional insulation here really, really helps. It's also going to lower the running requirement of the heated chiller unit because of the temperature of the water is going to maintain for so much longer. We can do this on any tub, so it doesn't have to be a seated tub. I'm just showing it on this one because I have it in the showroom. This is actually for a client, but they're not ready for it yet, so I'm going to film it in here just to show you what can be done. As I did say, this could be as little as 25mm insulation around it. We could go all the way out. I mean, you could really exaggerate it and pull it all the way off and have even more insulation on it if you wanted to. Pricing is depending on the insulation amount and how many units it's going on. But I'm happy to talk to you about that for the project that you've got and the requirements that you have. The one thing to consider here is that we would leave this space here, and that's just been additionally coated and glassed and blended up here so that you can still build your support or your not weighted support, just your design pieces. So if the tub was going to be visual up here or here, you could have your sub materials under here and up to here and then finished over the top for the undermounted look, or it could be floating across there. We can do things like insulate the sides. We can insulate the underside, so the bottom part here underneath the seat on the vertical side of the seat, as well as obviously the 4 sides, as I just said. So it can go as extreme or as sort of entry as you'd like. Most people, when doing insulation on this, really want to focus on the 4 sides of the tub and underneath the seat, not necessarily the base, because if you do the base as well, it's going to increase the height of the tub by the height of the insulation. So it depends on the space that it's going in. You may be okay to do that, and that may be, if that fits in your space, then it's absolutely fine to do so, but you may wish to not do that, so then it can still maintain existing height. So that's just a conversation to have. It's a service that's POA, so discuss with me further about exactly what it is that you're looking to achieve. It may well be that it's not required to put it onto your project at all, but it also may be something that's really something that's required on the specification and you want to go through it. So this is our solution to that. I'll put in some video here onto the end of this video, just showing you kind of what it looks like on a non-seated tub. Because if you imagine, here's a 14.8, If you were to put 50 mil insulation on a 75 mil flange, then it's not actually going to protrude the dimensions of the tub at all. If you run 50 mil around it and more layers of glass blended with resin and then the coating on the outside, you'd be fine on the 1400 by 800 or like any non-seated tub. You'd be absolutely fine with it. This one here is obviously protruding because it only has 25 mil flanges. And just really quickly, right at the end of the video, if you've watched it this far, this one here is the 1800 by 1800 that's launching onto the site any second. I just haven't got around to doing it, in all honesty with you. And this has 50 mil insulation on here. So this here is a 50 mil flange. And you can see, because of the tapering on the tub, if I'm straight down, it's not actually protruding it. You still have the space underneath to do the things I've just said a moment ago. And this really is a very, very, very big tub. We've insulated around the entire thing. And this is going to fit 6 very large rugby players in, 8 non-large rugby players in for a laugh. Very big space. Something that could be run from just a filling system, although you'd have to have a pretty good system, or could be used more as a tub, which is going to be used for communal cold plunge, communal hot experiences, where you're recirculating waters, etc., and you're running that through the inlet and outlets on the tub. That's our biggest tub that we have. The round one is also another product that people do the installation on. We have the standard 50 mil that wraps around this by default. It's the only product we have that wraps insulation around the entire tub by standard. Everything else is not standard, but you could do more on this if you wanted to. So this has got 100 mil around the entire thing. So you could, in theory, bring that insulation out way more than the 50. So just wanted to drop in and put this video together. Quick one take. Any questions that you guys have, feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to help. This service is available worldwide for any orders. We can ship it to the delivery address or a holding address. Let us know. More than happy to accommodate. But as I said, it's a worldwide shipment offer. Thanks a lot, guys. Cheers.